Alrighty guys, JDs and Lenelman. The Bibby Poet Warriors, you guys already know what it is, and if you don't know what it is, it's time to get active. Today we're going to be doing another little movie capsule review on a horror movie. Now myself and my lovely partner, Bubbles, this might come as a shock to you guys, but we watched this movie for the first time the other night. And yes, I know. I've been living under a rock. I've never seen Scream. I've seen all of the scary movies, and I consider myself definitely like a horror movie buff. But I've never seen the original Ghostface. I've never seen Scream. And it was completely not what I was expecting it to be, like, at all. And I came away really kind of blown away by it, for several reasons. Number one, those of you who know me, and those, I know we've got a huge influx of new followers here. Thank you for following. I'm Bibby with the Poet Warriors. But I'm a big fan of mask work, and we've talked about mask work here at the Poet Warriors before. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Mask work, I think, is a beautiful tool to deliver some truly spectacular motifs and performances. And if anything, it's much more difficult to do than showing your face on camera or on stage or what have you, in whatever artwork that may be. Because it elevates your body language. Spoiler alert, which, you know, this film came out in the 90s, so I don't think it's much of a spoiler, but just skip 10 seconds ahead if you haven't seen Scream and you want to watch Scream. But there are multiple killers playing Ghostface, right? This mask work, one, helps to craze the unveiling at the end there that there are multiple killers, even though it was somewhat predictable. I guessed it. My partner did not guess it, so she didn't. She said, yeah, you might be right, but she didn't get that until I said it. So, ha. But that helps, you know, the big unveil at the end that there are multiple killers. It also, like I said, elevates the body language, but almost humanizes the killer more. Which to me made it more suspenseful and more scary, right? In modern day horror movies and old horror movies, there's always something supernatural. The killer's always good, I guess, at what they do. And the thing that I like about Ghostface the most is how human he is and how many mistakes he makes, right? And this just goes for the first Scream movie, the 1996 Scream movie, the original. Because I haven't seen the others yet, but we will be watching the others, so maybe I'll do like a full review of all of them another time. But he's always making mistakes, right? Like, he's not a very good killer, and he's not a very successful killer. And there are reasons for this that come to at the end that I won't talk about now, but it makes him more human. But it also makes him more desperate, and I like that. And the mask really helps to emphasize it, because the only thing that you're looking at is his body language, right? Which is a really cool, unique kind of twist, right? You know, like, oh, he's trying to kill someone and they're fighting back. And so, like, they get away, and he's there tripping over things, he's there getting injured, you know, but then keeps getting back up and is determined to get the person, right? Like, you know, there's the one scene that I thought that was really quite special in the garage, where he's killing, like, one of the girls at the party, and she's fighting back, and he's being, like, hit in the face with a fridge, like, door, tripping over things, boxes, having beer bottles thrown at him. And, you know, he just keeps falling down, but keeps getting back up. And he's just relentless at it. And that kind of determination kind of elevates the horror almost towards him, Ghostface as a character, which I thought was really cool. And the other thing was just the the thing that I found really, really intriguing about this horror movie, like I said, like, you know, my sister raised me watching horror movies. She never had like other people to watch horror movies with other than our dad. So she just forced me to start watching horror movies with her at a very young age, and I had a lot of nightmares, but it kind of like nulled me to horror movies and really made me love them. So I like horror movies. So I've seen like, you know, most if not all other than Scream, I guess. But what's really cool about Scream is that it acknowledges it's a horror movie. So there's all of these like motifs and like all of these characters who are movie buffs, and specifically horror movie buffs, and they compare and contrast what's happening in the movie, acknowledging it's a horror movie, and then linking it side by side with horror movies, like existing horror movies. Like they say some of the other, you know, like Halloween, Leatherface, like they talk about these horror movies in this film. And like the killers, the whole premise of Ghostface is they are movie buffs, the people who are in the mask and killing. And they compare it to and are inspired by other horror movies. So it's like this really unique and cool twist that leads to some really, really awesome cinema, actually. Like there's this one scene where one of the kids, who ultimately doesn't get murdered, but almost got murdered, is watching a horror movie. And, you know, he's there screaming like, oh, come on, he's behind you, he's behind you. Like, if you've seen the movie, you know what scene I'm talking about. He's behind you, turn around. You know, meanwhile, as they're showing him watching this film, they're also showing another camera angle of Ghostface behind him getting ready to kill him. So it's like they're facilitating what you want to think in your mind. You know, being like, oh no, he's behind you, and he is behind him. And it shows both those angles. It's really, really cool. And there's bits like that throughout the whole scene, throughout the whole film. Now, you know, it's not perfect, like it's older, which didn't really stand in its way that much. You know, like when you look at some older horror movies like Jeepers Creepers, for example, right, like it's, or I guess Jaws, if you want to call it a horror movie. You know it's fake, so it's almost humorous to watch nowadays. And there wasn't that issue with Scream, but it is almost comically corny at times. That's the only thing holding it back. But I was really, really impressed by it, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I think you guys will too. And if you haven't watched Scream, if you live under a rock like me, I would go and watch Scream, because it's pretty impressive. And honestly, the two killers are spectacular actors. Like I'm not gonna say who they are, but like they're present throughout the movie. Obviously, like they're hiding in plain sight, so to speak. And, you know, they're completely one character, like, when that happens, after you find out that they're killers, and that they're just complete psychopaths and nut jobs. My goodness, the performance, the acting, bro, it's really something special. And actually, I came away inflicted and, like, you know, eager to put some of, you know, steal some of what they were doing there into my own work. It was really quite impressive. Really, really quite impressive. And there's that scene at the end, and they're like stabbing each other to make them look innocent and shit. It's crazy. It's crazy. Go and watch Scream. Give some love to Ghostface. And maybe I'll keep you posted when I watch the other ones. Maybe we'll do a full Scream bundle.
Tasty.